Hello and welcome to another edition of Cable Incredible Radio. I am your host, Cable Guy, along with your co-host, Just Incredible. What's up, Justin?
Hey, Cable Guy, what is going on?
Oh, so you are fresh back from the Comic Con in Albany. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out there to meet you, but from the pictures you sent that I have up, they were looking pretty sweet.
It was totally sweet. Got to hang out with my good friends, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, reminisce about the old times, did some work, got some real good footage of Kevin speaking very openly about me, which is cool. Went out to a nice dinner, which Nash paid for, which is great. I'm not afraid to take a cheap free meal. So, it was great,
Okay.
Had a great time.
Okay. Who else was at the Comic Con besides Hall and Nash?
It was just us three. Us three in a little comic book store, and they actually paid us an extra hour and a half because they were lying across the building.
Oh, wow.
Around the building, yeah. And it was really intense, really cool, man. Big turnout, and what made me happier is there were so many ECW fans in the Albany area that I would say, not exaggerating, 75% that got Hall and Nash got me. We ran out of 8x10s to sell of myself because, they always figure ahead at Hall and Nash, of course, the big headliners,
right?
And they should be, but a lot of ECW fans still out there, and I was very happy, and I want to just give a shout out to those guys at the I think it's like Heroes at the Heroes comic book shop in on Broadway in Rensselaer, New York, right outside of Albany there. Guys were top notch. I'm going back doing something for them in July. I'm getting a call from New York as we speak. Maybe it's Vince. What do you think?
You never know.
Nah, it's not a Greenwich. I got Hunter's number. Hunter's actually not an area code of 203. He actually still has a New Hampshire one, but K-Fade.
Nice.
Don't worry, he never picks up one. Anyway, I digress. Before I get in trouble.
So another thing you brought up before we got started is you're doing your first movie shoot tomorrow. Let's talk about that.
I know. I'm super excited. It's like so many things are happening, man, so fast. The producer, executive producer and producer of Credible, the documentary Recovery Redemption, is also doing a movie with Don Johnson, Burt Young, Chaz Palminteri, a couple other famous actors from Sons of Anarchy and other shows, other movies. Michael Forsythe, who's incredible actors in it. And basically it takes place in the 70s. And a group of thieves, the plot is a group of thieves had this bright idea of stealing $50 million from the mob. And that's what the movie's about. Vincent Pastore, who played Big Pussy, and The Sopranos is also in it.
Oh, cool.
So, I got to do a big jailhouse fight scene tomorrow, which is just incredible.
Nice. Are they filming it by in like New York by you?
They're filming in Cranston, Rhode Island at an actual prison. So it's going to be really cool.
Oh, okay. Are they going to be using actual inmates in the background, like in the movie Natural Born Killers?
I don't know what to expect, man. But all I know is it's very exciting, and I'm very happy.
What?
And and then Saturday or Friday morning, I should say, I take off from New Orleans until late Monday, and we'll probably be doing the show somewhere with me in an airport. But they don't get until midnight on Monday.
Okay.
So, but we'll still do our thing and have some great scoops, hopefully some great guests, and I'll have my video or my audio recorder on and get some shout-outs to our great listeners.
Okay. Yeah, Wrestlecon is next weekend, and I was just going over the roster, and quite literally everybody's going to be there.
Yeah, I was one of the last to get booked, so I'm like, wow, I'm pretty much on the bottom order, bottom of the pecking order, but I got booked, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's like with the exception of Hunter, everyone of the clique is going to be there. Even non
Yeah,
even all the members that like came after you and whatnot. Like you were you around for when Psycho Sid and Louis Spicoli were part of the clique, or were you already gone by then?
I was there when Spicoli was there. Yeah, definitely,
No,
certainly was there.
no, were you close with Spicoli?
I was. Louis was a great guy, man.
All right,
Louis Spicoli was a great guy.
all right.
Amazing. You know, fun, good worker, and you know, just a really all-around great guy. Everybody liked Louis.
Now didn't he die of a drug overdose?
I believe he did. Yeah. It was the muscle relaxer stoma.
Right, right. Now, one thing that New Jack always points out in interviews, and I always found this interesting, in all of ECW's tenure, he was the only one to die of drugs, whereas WCW and WWE at that time it was a different matter entirely.
Right.
Now,
Yeah. I mean,
now with how now the question is with how liberal the locker room was, compared to other ones. How is that? And that's more of a
uh,
that's more of like a combined social media question right there, where people
well, I
always
mean,
speculated on Louis Spicoli.
look, I honestly think it was no. Look, at that time, it was no different
Hmm.
than any other locker room. It was just more openly spoken about because there was not as many, rules. But everybody else was doing the same thing.
Okay, okay. Now,
When Kev spoke about drugs and how it affected my career for the documentary, he said pretty much a lot of us were going through the same thing, and some were able to get out and some weren't, and some just were born with that addictive biological thing that they don't know when's when, and a lot of people really toyed with that line. But I've read Nikki Sixx's book, The Heroine Diaries,
mhm,
and I'm actually writing an autobiography to go along to accompany the movie,
mhm,
and I'm trying to get some of the stylings of the book because it's very impactful.
mhm,
And a lot of people ask him, did he think the rock and roll, was the reason that he was a drug addict? And he said that he did. I don't think it mattered what form of work he was in, and he was going to become a drug addict.
mhm,
And I say the same thing. I don't say it was pro wrestling.
mhm.
I think I would have, one way or another, gone down that path.
Okay.
And it's interesting, but looking back now, the choices were clearly mine, and in doing a lot of retrospect, contemplating, thinking about stuff to write in the book. I had a happy childhood, but nothing was missing. My mom and dad were together. I was never abused or anything. A happy home, but sometimes I was too coddled and not ready for the world when I went out there so young to join the circus, so to speak.
Mhm.
And my grandfather was an alcoholic. My brother's an alcoholic. My mother's father was an alcoholic. So I think it ran in the family. So I think I just took to it like a fish to water.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think Sean O'Hare said it best in his one of his famous promos is that everybody has a vice of some sort, and
Yeah,
that it's like there are those who are honest with themselves and those who are not. But also, in your defense about going out in the world so young, that's a big problem for a lot of people these days where they go to high school, they're told a bunch of stuff that they think is going to be important when they hit the real world and it really isn't, and
yeah,
and they are just because believe me, I was there. I was just, I had to go out and get my own place at 19,
sure, yeah, yeah.
and and I learned that you can't really live on minimum wage. Well,
No,
not very well for that matter.
No.
and it's sort of a day by day existence. And it's not just me. There's a lot of people, and it's just one of those things out there. So naturally you're going to do what you have to do to get yourself through it.
Well, I mean, I said this on Steve Austin's show. I said on X-Pac's show, the podcast that I recently did. I think it has a lot to do with mental health, and I think addiction is a mental health issue.
Hmm.
I think I was undiagnosed with anxiety and depression,
Hmm.
and I only felt good either when I was altered or when I was very busy on stage, performing, wrestling in the ring. When I went to the gym and worked out, man, I was doing it as hard as I could, training as hard as I could.
Hmm.
When it was girls, I was going after the girls as hard as I could.
Hmm.
When it was DDP yoga, and it is again, I go like an animal with that. So I've noticed in life that everything I do to extremes.
Hmm.
Um, when I have a lot of money in my pocket, I'll go out and buy new toys that I don't need instead of, hey, maybe saving it for a rainy day. So I'm always looking for something, I think, to make me artificially happy, which means, inside that and I really, like I said, I have a lot of work still to do with my therapist, but I got to find out what's missing
Hmm.
in my life. And,
Okay.
it's one of those things. It's one day at a time. I'm very grateful to
Hmm.
be in this position. The public viral video of me being drunk at a show actually was the best thing that happened to me because it gave me an opportunity to star in my own documentary to tell my life story, an autobiography, and I'm doing something really cool. When a metal band, it was actually signed, by a record label. They're a legitimate band out there touring right now. They're called Crossing Rubicon, and I'm friends with the lead singer. He also trained to be a pro wrestler back in the day by Jason Knight. We happened to cross paths out of nowhere,
Hmm.
and he's going to do something that hasn't been done since the Heroine Diaries, is do a 4 or 5 song EP to go in the back of the book to kind of as a companion piece to the stories with
Oh,
maybe a little narration from me.
oh, cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some different stuff,
Yeah, that's
and I'm very excited, man. We're really trying to make this thing special, and really, be honest and just do some good stuff.
well.
And I'm excited. I'm excited with us, with our show. It's growing every day,
Hmm.
and it's just, I got to count my blessings, man. Things are just really taking off right now.
Right, right. I'm gonna be honest. When I shot you that email all those months back, I had a feeling about you, but I didn't expect really to go in this type of direction. But I'm still grateful. It's like, why not?
Well, I'm grateful too, and I think we are very similar in many ways.
Hmm.
I think we get along famously. We have a nice contrast, give and take. I really enjoy what we do, and I always did. Like Scott Hall, always did. He took the young boys. He helped the up and comers coming up, and that's what I like to do. I like to mentor and help kids. I think that's kids. You're not a kid. You're a little younger than me, but
Right.
guys who are new in the business, and try to help them the way the veterans helped me.
Well, and you want to know something? I think the thing is about Scott Hall, even though we're in the process of getting him on. Remember the first thing I said to you about the ECW guys that I've had on the show? I never ever have problems with them, and it's
Right. Well, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, we were always the real deal, man. We were very down to earth.
yeah,
We were just one of a kind.
right,
We really were one of a kind.
right, right. So,
Yeah, and it's very exciting. It really is, man. I know I keep saying that a lot,
hmm.
but it really is the truth. It's really, really awesome and exciting times for me and the brand and what I'm able to kind of do with all of this. just more than I could have ever expected. Whereas 6 months ago I was on the verge of death. And so, I mean, it sounds dramatic because it is, but it's all true.
Right. Hey.
So it's a miracle, man. And one shout out I have to give is to Road Dogg, Brian James, who no matter how hard he is working with it, writing for TV and SmackDown and stuff, he tweets me every day.
Oh, nice.
We texted back and forth on Easter Sunday. We're getting together in New Orleans for a little lunch because he cares. He genuinely cares about other guys in recovery. He cares about everybody, but that brotherhood, that kinship of guys in recovery, as they say, because AA is a bunch of slogans.
Mm-hmm.
And at first you say, screw this, it's just a bunch of bullshit. But if you really think about what they say, one of the sayings that he says, and it's very true,
Mm-hmm.
To keep it, you got to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, by helping others, you're really helping yourself because it makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And on my Twitter feed, I get nonstop people daily, saying how much I've helped them with their addictions. That I'm suffering. I'm going through the same dream, same thing. And I've had people say I'm sober this amount of time. And it's because of you that's kind of helped, and just stuff that's like whoa, So in a way, it's helping keep me accountable. Of course, I want to do it for myself and my kids more than anything. But
Right.
I also don't want to let down fans again, because at the end of the day, I'm going on my millionth chance here. I've had chances before.
Right.
And with addiction, people get this idea that you're cured all of a sudden. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a daily reprieve of reminding yourself that I'm very vulnerable. And, when I'm by myself, nobody knows if I go to the liquor store and buy a little nip or two,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about dealing with yourself.
Right.
It's about being brutally honest with yourself. And I don't want to live a facade,
Right.
And it's important to stay accountable. I didn't know what that all meant back in the day, but I do know what it means today.
Right. But if, one way to look at it is, see, with your fans and this has personally happened to me where there's been times I've been having a rough day, and like you see, one of the boys on the live stream, they're just doing a Q&A, and they'll just sit there and be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Just shoot the shit with you, and then send you on your merry way, and then it's just your days just brighten up because you just interacted with that person,
Sure.
and it's just one of those things in life where you send that person away for the rest of their life, going like, oh, just incredible, took time to listen to me, and he understood where I was coming from.
It's interesting. I'm wondering right now, because I'm on the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if I put us on the live stream, if they could hear our conversation.
They might be able to on Facebook.
On YouTube. Let's try. This might not work. Do you have a Twitter handle?
Do I have a Twitter handle? No, I don't.
Boy, you need to get on Twitter, sir. That's your goal for tonight. Seriously.
Okay.
Let's see how initializing a video stream. How is this working? Are we going here? Let's just, okay. Let's see. All right. Well, anyway, let's continue. If I get it going, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. So, okay, moving along. Another social media question, and I'm just going to take this verbatim. I think this was at the One Night Stand. Was that Singapore cane you had in your hand that you cracked Chris Benoit across the skull with gimmicked?
It was Jericho. That was Jericho.
Oh, Jericho. Okay, was that gimmicked or?
Oh no, that was as hard as it comes.
No. For those who don't know, getting hit with a Singapore cane anywhere in the body hurts like hell. And to break it
Yes.
like that, like, I'm just gonna be straight up. Did you give him a concussion or something, man?
No,
No,
no, just it stings a lot, but no, I didn't give him a concussion.
no.
Certainly didn't.
Okay.
No,
So,
no.
another question is of the week is, did you have any encounters with fake Razor Ramon?
I
'Cause,
did, yeah. I worked with him quite a bit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
did so I'm just curious. What did he think of the gimmick?
Scott, he didn't care. I mean, he
Oh,
thought it was kind of funny. Oh, what did Rick think of the
yeah.
gimmick?
What did Rick think? Yeah, what did Rick?
Oh, they didn't. They didn't like it. They didn't like it at all. They felt weird doing it. But what are you gonna do? You just get called up to the WWE, and it actually worked out for Glenn for Kane.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a foot in the door. That's how a lot of us see it.
Right now with Rick, do you think Rick could have had a better run had they given him any other gimmick besides fake Razor?
I don't think so,
No.
unfortunately.
No.
No, I think he was one of those weird guys who just I don't know. He's a nice guy, but he's Canadian, so I just think he's. What I mean by that is a lot of Canadians have a dry sense of humor,
Yeah. No,
and
I know what you mean.
and he just didn't get along very well with the boys and didn't take very kind to ribbing. But that's what you do. I mean, I got ribbed more than anybody.
Right.
You just gotta take it in the chin and get back up, and they respect you for that.
Why was he one of those guys where if you ribbed him or played a prank on him, he just starts flipping out and going crazy?
Yeah, and that's the worst thing you can do because then you can guarantee you'll get another one right away.
Well, yeah.
So
That's how it works in construction too. If the guys start messing with you, if they see you just, flip out and go ballistic, you're just fueling the fire. They're gonna do it again worse.
exactly.
And then like even if you don't flip out that time, they have to up the ante because they know to get you to do it again. And so you really like anything off the top of your mind what they did to what they did to fake Razor that like
I no, I don't. I really don't remember at
no
all. No,
uh 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 X-Pac didn't get a hold of his bag. You don't think, did he?
I don't think he did. No.
Because he was sort of known for doing that.
I heard some things, but I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, I heard in an interview where basically he was like a ninja where he scaled a chain link fence just to get into Tammy Sitch's room to I guess and Bret Hart confirmed this in his autobiography and left a present in the food box and did it all
Oh
up
yeah,
did it all up so you would oh my God, I could only imagine.
yeah, and couldn't have been pretty.
Well,
What are your thoughts tonight on Undertaker possibly coming out? A lot of rumors.
that would be nice, but
Yeah,
isn't it? But see, here's the thing: is like, how many times are they going to retire him or heavily imply that he's done until I get
I
it.
don't know.
I get it. They want to do it for the kids, but it's like, I not that this would ever happen. I'd hate to like see him like kind of go the route of Virgil, where it's just people don't want to see him anymore.
I
Not that.
don't think that'll ever
No, I
happen.
don't think that would ever happen. Okay, here's another question from
But I
social.
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Here's another question from social media. People want to know if you ever had encountered Lonely Virgil at the conventions, and if so, was he a dick?
Virgil?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little too much.
Does he really try to
He's a
hustle
little,
people?
yeah, always. And he'll always try to take your business away. Just not a great guy.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah.
no, no, not nice to your face, but he's one of those old time, just, carny kind of guys
Oh,
who turned me off.
yeah, yeah. I tried to bring him on the show, and the emails, it just kept going back and forth for 3 days, and it just eventually you're just like, just forget it, man.
Yeah, it ends up being more trouble than anything else.
Yeah, and
You know.
Yeah. So now another
Believe me, I get you.
yeah. Yeah, not that I'm closed, and not that, see, I always try to be very fair and give everyone the benefit of the doubt before,
Yeah.
during, and after when I bring them on. But like some people, I guess, So,
Yeah, big time.
so another
He's one of them.
another question is, people want to know if you had any encounters with the Harris twins when they were in ECW, and if you were there for that
I had him encounters with them in TNA
TNA.
and in WWE. Yeah, they were all right guys. I like those boys.
Yeah, were you there for
Yeah.
the incident where he roughed up Sandman in ECW because he came to the ring drunk?
Well, hell, those every night. All kidding aside, that was his gimmick, but I mean, that's who he was. Well, put it this way: as irresponsible as that might sound to, especially today's culture,
Hmm.
um, that's pretty much what you did, and not just me,
Right.
or not just Sandman. I didn't drink when I wrestled in ECW. But a lot of guys would have a couple, especially in the old days, man. In the old territory days,
Hmm.
hell, Dick Murdoch, Dusty, Terry Funk, they'd have a case of beer in the back. Arn Anderson, them guys, man.
And they'd go
Be
work?
going to, oh, hell yeah.
How could they
They'd
how
come
could
in.
how could they stomach it? Like not for nothing. It's like
Well, I
I've
mean, they weren't going out there, shit faced, but they'd go out there after 2, 3, 4,
oh
good buzz on,
oh okay.
help loosen you up. Oh, yeah. That was
Oh,
commonplace, brother. Andre would drink because he was so big. Like, I heard rumors that he would drink a gallon of wine before he went out there.
jeez.
He's a 700-pounder, but still, that's a lot of wine. But
Oh,
no, I mean, yeah, a lot of those guys, and it's back in the old days, it was acceptable. Even in the WWE,
right,
believe me.
right.
I remember one time they couldn't sell beer in Massachusetts on a Sunday, and my old man, we were wrestling in Springfield. He was, I live an hour from Springfield. Double A was the agent, and hell, he had my dad come and asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, bring me a case of Budweiser, please, to the arena, 30-pack." And my dad got first class treatment. Boy, car rolled in right to the back of the arena and everything.
Oh
The
wow.
barn got him a special room. What are you kidding me?
So what?
Hey,
So what was that? Is Springfield like a dry county or something?
no, on Sundays.
Oh, just on.
You can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. So what's the craziest angle you were ever proposed in any of the wrestling? Like let's limit it to ECW, WWE, and TNA. And weren't you in WCW briefly or no?
No, I did a small run there,
Oh,
but two matches, squash matches.
oh,
No, the craziest one was when Dreamer's grandfather died, and they did the interrupt to his 10-bell salute.
oh, okay, okay. And last but finally not least for today,
I'm
let's
sorry.
and last but finally not least for
Oh,
today,
I was gonna say.
uh, what let's talk about your time in the Royal Rumble. It was very brief but memorable.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool, actually. I was in there in '95, which was a good one, and I went after Sean, and I learned this from those guys. And in those matches, really, it's controlled chaos because you don't really know much. You have a couple of spots. Sean was supposed to throw me out. I said, "Sean, you want to do it?" He said, "Listen, kid, I got so much I'm doing. I'll just tell you when.
Hmm.
Just come to me when you see if the order's right, and I'll get you out." And I went right to the main event guys.
Hmm.
And I slid in the ring. I went right to Sean. I beat him in the corner. I ran over to Lex Luger, put the boots to him, and I just started going over to guys that were over,
Hmm.
because that's that's an old Dick Murdoch trick.
Right.
You go to the guys that are over, and you go to all of them.
Hmm.
And, you make them go over, you punch Lex a couple times. Sean did the big sell for me. I went over another couple other guys, just kept going and going until somebody cut me off, you know. But
Right.
yeah, that's how you get over, man. You just go to the most famous guy in the company and you just start trading punches with him.
Well, no,
You know?
wasn't it Tatanka who eliminated you?
Nope, it was Sean.
It was Sean? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Wikipedia is wrong, so they need to correct that.
Wikipedia's always wrong.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find there's so many errors, but no, that was a good moment and a good learning experience for kids out there.
Okay.
You know, listen to those things, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
that stuff still works. You know,
yeah, I
think
was,
about it. You're in a Rumble match.
right.
Don't just hide in the corner. Go after the top guys.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, because who are they going to be talking about? The top guys.
Right, right.
You know,
So,
so
so basically when they send you out there, they just give you one clear winner and then they're just like, figure it
and
out.
in order.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how it goes, bro.
Nice, nice. So,
Yeah, yeah.
what were your thoughts when, because I was watching it live, that Royal Rumble where, Vince McMahon tore both his quads. Were you laughing? Or
I
when,
don't remember that.
that's where, I think it was Batista and Randy Orton, or Batista and Cena eliminated themselves at the same time, and Vince came storming down the aisle and jumped up onto the apron of the ring, and
And
he tore one quad, and then he tore and he was like, and he fell down. He's sitting there screaming at him.
oh my God, I can't imagine because that's a painful thing.
Oh yeah.
But Vince is tough as nails, man. He's
Well,
one guy I still wouldn't want to fight, you know.
yeah. Well, he did. My point is about him tearing his quads. He it didn't seem to like miss a beat mid sentence, like
Yeah.
when he was screaming at him. So.
Oh yeah, I think he's crazy. He's not playing with full deck. You know, he's not. He's very much the biggest. He's one of those guys that'll play the who's got the biggest one in the room game. You know, he
Right.
usually wins.
Right.
Not that I would know, but at least an attitude.
Right, right. Yeah, I've read quite a bit about how back in the olden days when the bidding wars were going on, where he would do everything he can to win those wars, even if the person flopped.
Oh yeah, that's why he was so mad with Jarrett because Jarrett's deal was up and Jarrett was willing to do business and put China over, but he wanted to make sure he got paid first.
Right, and
You know, it's real easy to say, hey, I'm going to give you this amount of money, but then who's to
right,
say you will? So he
right.
said, hey, I want to get paid up front. So he had a briefcase full of money for him.
Well, yeah, then and now he's about to be inducted, and I never thought I'd live to see that day, and it really got me thinking about like, what since we're talking about Vince McMahon and how
Right.
I always foresaw Buff Bagwell getting inducted before Jeff Jarrett because of the whole
That'll be,
monetary thing.
yeah.
But from what it sounds like, some things are more important to Vince than money. If you really piss him off on that
Yeah,
level.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And one thing, too, that I think is going to happen is because a couple people mentioned it today, and I said, of course not. Will any ECW guys other than the Dudleys get in? And I said no. But what I did say is, I honestly think that if WrestleMania someday goes to Philadelphia, that they'll induct ECW almost like a faction,
Right. Oh, they should.
you know,
They should.
and I think they will because it's still talked about today, and it's still so many kids watch it on the network, and it's still so hot.
Oh yeah.
As to how long it's been gone, and so influential that it's going to have to be in the Hall of Fame, and I think they'll get probably whoever they have relationships with. I wanted to go to the Hall of Fame and comp tickets backstage, and Kev's like, "Nope, I know Paul. You haven't been good enough long enough." He goes, don't even ask. He goes, next year you'll be good. He goes, but you haven't been a good boy long enough. I said, yeah, you're right.
All right.
So
Well,
maybe next year I'll get my Legends deal.
hey, that would be nice. It would definitely be a nice little
Yeah, yeah.
way to, to really earn your ring there,
That's right. Well, it's if I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing with this book, with this movie, with what we're doing, and many other projects, man, we're it's all possible.
Right, right. Okay. All right.
Oh, and Cable Guy, if you can make it down here, I'm going to make it public, if you will.
Mhm.
Put you right out there in front of people. Rumor has it that the director of my movie and the man that's producing this whole thing, that's funding this whole thing, called Douglas Cartelli, they're putting on a show because the last scene of the movie is me going up through the curtain.
Mhm.
Almost like, to for a picture of like me going back into successful, beating, it's a representation of beating
Mhm.
my addiction and rising out of the ashes.
Okay.
And we're also taping the band that I mentioned that's doing music for the book is also doing some of their music for the film.
Okay.
They're shooting a music video there for the soundtrack of the movie.
Mhm.
So we're going to have a show there, 5-match card. And
Okay.
if you can get your ass down to Waterbury, Connecticut before sometime in May,
Okay.
you might be able to get some training, and maybe you could manage me.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to do my best to get down there, and we can definitely take it to the next level.
Well, I'm waiting on you now, kid.
Okay. All right. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Justin, for giving us the
As
lowdown
always.
on this week. Check
And
them out.
listen, next week we'll be back with some super great WrestleMania stories too, and I'll try to get us some audio clips from some of the guys down there, so we could play for you guys at the show on this show next week.
Okay.
That'll be really cool. I'm
Okay.
gonna try to do that for us. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. This is Cable Incredible Radio signing off. Let's all be nice to each other out there. Bye now.
See you.
This is a Chickadee production.